One of the most common questions we get about the Colchester Half Marathon is about the route and the hills. How many are there? How bad are they? What can we do to prepare? Today, we're going to give you a complete run through of the course, pointing out the main inclines and what you can do about them, as well as other things to watch out for en route. Hey everybody, I hope you're well. I'm John Mackenzie. I'm one of the organisers and trustees of the Colchester Half Marathon, and today I'm joined by Paul Neville. He'll be a familiar face to many of you on the Colchester running scene, park runs and so on. So welcome to the Chapel Studios, otherwise known as my shed. Apologies for the barking dog next door and any other noises we get today. Okay, so every year we see these comments on social media, which are there any hills? How bad are the hills? How can I prepare for these hills? Am I going to die? What to do to prepare? Paul, what's the story really?
I mean, you're right, we get a lot of questions in the build up to the race as well, but actually if you look at the map for the course and the elevation, there are hills, but also there's a lot of downhills as well. The first 2.5 miles is pretty much all downhill. In the first half is where the main hills are. There's two big ones, which are North Hill and Ipswich Road, a little kicker around about mile 10 as well, but everyone talks about the main two. Nothing to be scared of really. I think it's to get behind the mystery of it. Just practice hills, whether that's in your training in the week. Come along to Colchester Castle Park Run. Got plenty of hills there, and it's just practice. Take away the mystery.
Okay. Well, good advice. Let's get into the video now.
Yeah,
we
sure.
can actually show people the routes and what they should be looking out for. Okay, Paul. So here we are at the start. What are your tips?
I think the main thing for the start and for race day generally is not to do anything different. So have the same thing for breakfast you'd normally have before a training run. Do make sure you warm up. Get to the stadium nice and early. Just do your usual stuff. If you're doing different stuff, then that's not the right thing to do. Just do your normal preparation, nice and relaxed start, and you can't say enough, do warm up, because you're just about to run a half marathon. Sure. Your body needs to be warm. Do some stretches, a bit of jogging around, and then it's getting to the start line. Okay, well, if you've not run a half marathon before, basically at the start line, it is in order of expected time finishing. So the faster ones at the front. There'll be plenty of signs there with expected finish times. Just get into your position nice and early. And again, just keep sort of moving around, keep your body warm, and then we're ready to start. And then it's 9 o'clock and the start gun goes off. Again, it's just keeping relaxed. We'll go straight up to the end of the road and then it'll be a left turn. There's a slight incline as you go to the left turn. It'll be pretty busy, but like we've said, it will stretch out because the fast one's at the front, so it'll naturally regulate itself. Don't panic at this stage if there's people you're trying to get around. You're not going to get your personal best in the first 100 metres. So just relax, find your position and just find your early pace. So once we turn out the stadium onto Mile End Road, we take a left, and then it's a great part of the course. It's 2.5 miles, pretty much downhill all the way. Everyone's excited because the race has just started, but again, there's a real temptation to go crazy and go really, really fast. Just keep an eye on your pace during this first section. Again, sort of find your placing, towards the centre of the road, and sort of just relax a bit. You've got a long way ahead. Don't go too fast too early. We tell ourselves that all the time, and we generally still do that. But this is a real classic of just watch yourself. Do go a little bit faster than your average pace because you are going downhill, but don't go crazy because there are hills ahead.
And stick near your pacing team member if you've chosen one.
Yeah, if people want, we've got paces from 125 right through to 230. We'll be in bright pink again this year. That is our chosen colour, and to stand out hopefully. So if you are looking for a pacemaker, do try and spot us, and then we'll be going pretty steady, probably a few seconds faster than normal in the first couple of miles as it is downhill. We try and get a little bit in the bag for the uphills later on.
And just the other side of this roundabout where Quick Fit is here, that's mile 2, so you've ticked that off already. down North Station Road, and you can just about see North Hill in the distance.
This is the point when you can actually see North Hill. People will often say, do I have to run up that? The short answer is yes, you do. But it is only about 450 metres in length. It'll take about 2.5 to 4 minutes, depending on your pace, to run up it. So given the half marathon can take anything, hour and a half up to 2.5 hours, this is a very, very small proportion of the race. I think the key thing, again, don't talk when you're going up it, just concentrate on your breathing, nice and relaxed, focus on the top, and just remember when you get to the top, you turn left into the high street, lots and lots of crowds, lots of cameras, so just get your race face ready for when you turn left at the top.
Exactly, great photo opportunities with Jumbo in the background.
So when you turn left into the high street, this is a really good opportunity to get a little bit of recovery in. You've just pushed yourself up North Hill, and you have got quite a steady decline now down towards East Hill.
Yep.
So just get your breathing back, get your pace back on track. You've got a good mile or so before we go up Ipswich Road. So this is a time to relax, get your breathing, get your steady pace, and also get ready for the water station towards the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. Any loo opportunities here?
No idea.
I don't know if people dip into McDonald's or something like that.
I don't know.
No,
never done it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd have people following me as pacemaker. That would be a bit bad.
Yes, indeed. As Paul said, I mean, there's always great support on the high street here, and you can see us now dropping down the high street. And just on the left here, we're approaching the memorial next to the Colchester Castle, and this will be your first water station. So stock up on your water if you need some. Try and keep your water bottles, if you're going to throw them, into the pavement, so that the marshals and the guys at the water station can clear up. So we're going down East Hill now. Yes,
and like I said at the start, this is where we've got a couple of uphills, but there's actually lots of downhills as well, and this is a fairly steep downhill. So again, it's an opportunity to to relax, stretch your legs a little bit, and again get a little bit of pace up. I think for us as pacemakers, it's quite difficult to keep a fairly sort of flat pace through this, because this part of the course is quite fast.
Yeah.
And like we said, for the first 2.5 miles that are down, don't go crazy on it, but you can probably up your pace a little.
Sure.
And then as we go down East Hill, we turn left onto Ipswich Road. Now, in training, we always have to stick to the path, obviously, and it's pretty tight around there. But actually, of course, race day, all the roads are closed, so you can stick in the middle of the road, go off left, and it is quite a kicker up towards the Waitrose roundabout. So again, just be prepared for that as you sort of come down East Hill. Take the left and just take it fairly steady up that hill, probably about 90 yards of a fairly steep incline before we hit Ipswich Road proper.
Yes, this roundabout is actually really well policed by the council. They've got a lot of staff on manning the road closures, particularly on this route, because it is normally a very busy road thoroughfare through Colchester. So across the roundabout and into Ipswich Road proper.
So Ipswich Road is the second of the hills we talked about at the start, and the last of the really sort of main hills. But unlike North Hill, it's a lot longer in duration, so it's about 1.5 miles, and it is up and down, so it's undulating rather than just uphill. Similar elevation to North Hill, slightly higher, and it's a pretty straight road. So actually, if you look ahead, you will see the ups and downs of it.
Yeah.
Again, you're probably just dropping your pace slightly behind your average pace as you are, working a little bit harder up the hill.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's about 1.5 miles, and then you can look forward to the water station at the top.
Exactly. And as you are slogging your way up Ipswich Road, you are ticking off miles 4 and 5. So if we fast forward now, we come up to the junction with Severals Lane, turn into Severals Lane, and you can see the water station here on the left. So along the road, and then turn into Winkles Road and through the business park.
And then here, so straight after the water station, taken some water on board, and then we go right onto Winkles Road, leading through into the Crescent. So this is through the business park, a little bit quieter from a sort of a crowd support perspective. So again, if you've got sort of friends and family who want to come and support you, this is always a fairly good place to come and watch. A couple of undulations, but actually a fairly big, wide road. And you know, we've gone through the early miles of the hills, so this is a really good place to start to get your pace up to your sort of average pace.
Sure. And just fast forward a little bit through here, and you can see that we tick off also mile 6, and then we hit the next roundabout. Graham, who I roped in to video this on his scooter and using the GoPro, obeying the laws of the road here and going around the roundabout the correct way. On race day, we actually have more marshals and council officials on this roundabout, and you'll be actually cutting the corner off this particular section as you head towards the A12 bridge and into the country section of the half marathon.
And then as we go across the A12 bridge and just move out towards Langham, we hit halfway. So we're half of the half. And this is the point where it does really flatten out. So if you look at go back to the map again, we've done the first 2 big hills of North Hill and Ipswich Road. This is the time, for me anyway, I sort of think, okay, I'm halfway now. It's pretty flat for the rest of the time. Starting to think about my pace. Am I happy? Am I feeling comfortable? And knowing that there's not really that much ahead apart from nice country roads.
Yeah, for sure. Assuming it's going to be lovely weather, which it sometimes is in March. Enjoy the scenery and take Paul's advice there. I'll speed up the video here, but we're ticking off miles 7 and 8. This part, I think I've mentioned it before, but this part of the course, the roads aren't closed, but there's plenty of signage both for runners and for other road users. So for other road users, warning that there's runners in the road, and for you guys, it's just reminding you to keep left. Plenty of marshals on any of the hot spots, junctions, and so on. So fast forward, and here we are coming into Langham.
And then we come into Langham. This is one of my sort of favourite parts of it. It's a beautiful part of the countryside, but also the crowds tend to come out more in Langham. And again, you're in the back end of the race. There's a water station at the pub in Langham as well, which is Shepherd. Yeah, that's it. So it's always something to look forward to. And like I said, the crowds really come out. Pretty flat around here. So again, you're just into your race pace, feeling comfortable, thinking about taking on some water.
Yeah, and it's also usually the place that we have the jelly baby stand. So there'll be sweets of some description probably waiting for you in Langham. So something.
I always miss those. I don't know what happens. I'm obviously not looking hard enough, but I never see them.
Yeah, so. You've got a job to do.
I know. I'm concentrating
too
much, looking at my watch.
Sweets. So there we are, past the Shepherd and hook left into High Street, Langham, and off we go. Fast forward, and we just go past the mile 9 marker there, which is on the junction of the High Street and Old Mill Road, and take a right turn.
Yeah, so once we're through Langham, we're really on the home stretch now. Between miles 9 and 10, there is the last, what you'd call a hill. It's a short, sharp down and a short, sharp up. At this stage, again, you're probably just slowing slightly on that hill, but it's all about momentum, pushing on to Dedham Road, the left turn into Dedham Road, and then this is really the home stretch now.
Indeed. So I'll just put the video on fast forward here, and fast forward past mile 10, and here we are hitting Boxted.
And I think for mile 10, for me, this is always the big marker. A lot of people who do park run, for example, you're just saying you've just got a park run to go. it's pretty flat this last bit. Hopefully, if you're feeling comfortable, you know what your pace is, and you're really just ticking down those last couple of miles. So we hit Boxstead now, and again, we're just counting the miles down now. So we go through mile 11, good, straight, pretty much flat road. Normally get a good deal of crowd support in Boxstead, which is really good for these last couple of miles. Particularly if you're just sort of sweating and struggling a bit. But it is just counting down those miles. So we're through 11, looking forward onto straight road for miles 12 and 13.
Yes, a lot of people talk about Boxstead Straight Road. It comes out of Boxstead and it's very straight. It's a very literal name. It's I don't know, as a runner, is it a monotonous, or is it a chance to get some faster miles in or recover?
It pretty much depends on where you are. I mean, for us as pacers, you often see people coming back towards you as we're doing a steady pace. People who are struggling a bit will be slowing down fairly considerably. We normally give them a bit of a verbal kick to say, come on, not far to go.
Sure.
And I think that is the bit now. It is the last, it's the last couple of miles. Can be a headwind as well. Generally, there is a headwind, sort of heading south on that bit. So that can be fairly, not what you need in the last couple of miles of a half marathon. But like the support is there as well, which is I think the key thing for me is just it's flat, it's straight.
Yep.
Just keep concentrating, just keep that momentum going.
Yeah, concentration. That's a very good point. There's comments often about interaction, shall we say, with other road users on Boxstead Straight Road. Keep your concentration. I know you're in the last couple of miles, the last few minutes of the race. Keep your concentration. This road is open to traffic. It is marshalled. We're always looking for ways to improve the marshalling and traffic control on Boxstead Straight Road in particular. So yeah, just keep your concentration.
I think from a runner's perspective as well, it's exactly that, which is keep your eyes open, look out for other runners as well. If you see cars, just shout car, keep left, etc. And it's just concentrating on that and keeping safe.
And fast forward now, and we hit mile 12, still on Boxstead Straight Road. Yep,
this is the exciting bit now. So 1 mile to go. I think for me it's always a slightly disappointing one, purely because the race is going to be over quite soon. We train sort of long and hard over a number of months to pace this, and so for me I'm like, oh no, this is almost over. I think probably for a lot of people they're thinking, great, it's almost over. You've got a mile to go. Just keep doing what you're doing, keep the momentum going, and actually you can spot the stadium pretty soon. When you spot the stadium, you are seeing the finish. So Excellent. You're almost there.
Yeah, so just approaching the bridge over the A12 again now. If you'd parked in the park and ride in the morning, you'll know where you are, because you would have walked on this pavement already from the park and ride to the stadium. So you really know how short a distance you've got to the finish line. And over the crest of the hill, over the bridge, and we drop down and fast forward, and there we are. We can see the turning left into United Way.
This is the best bit of the whole course for me. And probably for a lot of people, if it's your first time, then this is a great moment. I've done the half quite a few times now, and no matter what pace I'm running or whatever, it's fantastic to see the crowds both sides. If you're going to start your sprint finish, don't start it too early. It's still quite a long way to the finish there, so you've still got a couple of 100 meters to go. So just build up to your sprint finish. You want to get some really great photographs as you cross the line. The support there is phenomenal, and I think it gets better year after year. This is the last 100 meters or so. This is what you've trained for, and I absolutely love this bit. And then you've done it, so you cross the finish line. What next? And in fact, as you're coming into the finish, you'll see the clock above you. Now, the key thing for you is your time isn't that time. It will actually be your chip time. So it's the key thing is your time stops when you go across the blue carpet. So your time will typically be quicker than the official clock time. Keep moving, because there'll be people sprint finishing behind you. So keep moving, and then you move across to the right, I think it is now, isn't it?
It is the right, yeah. At this point, just keep on moving into the finishers area, where you can grab a well-deserved bottle of water. We've got the medals, obviously, and the great goodie bags we've got for you this year, as we do every year.
The key thing there as well is you've just run for a couple of hours potentially.
Sure.
Just make sure you have a bit of a stretch out. Keep moving. Don't just stop, because you'll certainly pay for it the next day.
Indeed.
So have a stretch. Just keep walking.
Okay, so there you go. We really hope you found that useful. What are your thoughts and tips for the half marathon? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked the video, then click that like button. If you want to subscribe and be the first to see our videos as they get released over the coming months, click the subscribe button, hit that bell, and also let us know in the comments what other topics you'd like us to cover. And we'll see you next time.